It's the end of my wonderful stay in Darwin, and it's time for me to head back home to Adelaide. Getting on a non-stop flight would be too simple now, would it? So what's happening here? Stay tuned to find out. Darwin's airport is located a short taxi ride from the city. It is Australia's 10th busiest airport, and before the pandemic hit, it handled just under 2 million passengers for the year 2018 to 2019.
A very good morning to all of you and welcome back to another one of my videos. Today I'm coming to you from Darwin International Airport up north here in the Northern Territory. I've actually have a whole string of related videos related to this trip, so I highly encourage you to check it out. And this morning I'm returning to Adelaide. Now, with half the country on lockdown, you know, the flight timetables have been thrown into disarray, so there are not a lot of non-stop flights between Darwin and Adelaide today. On this day that I decided to fly, Qantas has decided to route me back to Adelaide via Brisbane. So it's going to be a whole day of flying. It's going to be quite a long commute for me, and this flight to Brisbane to start with is about 3 hours 45 minutes, so I'm looking forward to it. Thank God I have lounge access. So let's go. That was very stupid of me. Well, with a lot of the flights cancelled, there aren't a lot of Qantas flights departing, and I came to the airport too early. I thought I could chill at the lounge, have some brekkie before going to my flight at 1 p.m. It is now 9:30 and the first Qantas flight doesn't depart until 12 p.m. Qantas check-in will only open at about 11. And because my first leg is with Qantas and the second leg is with Jetstar, I'm unable to do an online check-in. I mean, even the lounge is not open. That was a bit silly, coming here so early. So rather than sitting in there in the air conditioning with my mask on, I decided to come back out into the hot, humid morning out here with my mask off to get some fresh air. Yeah, so all I can do is sit on this metal bench and stare into the blank space until Qantas check-in is open. That was really, really silly of me. It is what it is.
When it was time to check in, thought I'd try out the self-help kiosk. However, it only spat out a boarding pass for the first sector to Brisbane. So I approached Qantas for help, and they directed me to Jetstar, who then pushed me back to Qantas because my PNR was issued by Qantas. When the Qantas staff saw me back in line, they fished me out and asked me what happened. A couple of rolled eyes later, I was back at Jetstar, this time with a supervisor who then issued me my second boarding pass from Brisbane to Adelaide on Jetstar. To put things into context, this return flight is a redemption ticket arranged for by Qantas. This whole experience felt a little disjointed to say the least. So I hope Qantas and Jetstar will get their shit together for future journeys. Once past security, Darwin Airport's airside is located a level above. This terminal was officially opened in May 2015 after an expansion construction costing 85 million Australian dollars. Compared to the old terminal I remembered from decades ago, there is now a lot more retail space. Virgin Australia recently closed their lounge here, so now the only airline lounge is the one operated by Qantas.
Hi, how are you? Yes, I am. Yeah. Thanks.
For an airport of this size, I was quite surprised at how big the Qantas lounge actually is. It goes way back with lots of space as far as the eye can see. This is my first time here, so I haven't been to this lounge before the pandemic. I wonder, how was it like before? Did it get really crowded? Was it difficult to find a seat during peak hours? Oh my effing god! This is actually a self-serve buffet. It's definitely a tale of two countries because the rest of the Qantas lounges I've been to so far have all been on staff-assisted service ever since July 2020 because of COVID transmission concerns. What you see here in Darwin is definitely not the norm in Australia.
Gosh. Wow, I mean, I cannot believe that there is a self-serve buffet. I don't know when was the last time I saw a self-serve buffet. I don't know, to me it just looks so strange, it looks so weird. Like it's like I say, Northern Territory. If you've seen my previous video, I kind of did mention that Northern Territory looks as if they are living in a parallel universe where COVID-19 doesn't exist at all. Besides the need to check in, otherwise you need to wear a mask at the airport, you need to check in. But I mean, a self-serve buffet, I never thought I'd see that again, but here we are. Well, I decided to get myself some lemonade. I know lemonade looks very different to all of you outside of Australia, but here in Australia, this is lemonade or Sprite to some of you out there. And there is a vegetable broth with black bean. Let's see how this is. It tastes like a French onion soup. Very nice. And on the menu, I've also got myself some lemon chicken. And thank God they're using chicken thighs and not chicken breast. You know how I hate chicken breast because it's so tough and tasteless. Well, let's see how this tastes like. Very nice. I know the menu said lemon chicken, but this tastes more like honey mustard chicken, so I don't know. And finally, samosas. It looks like it came from Coles. Samosas from the frozen aisle in a supermarket. Charming. Anyway, can't go wrong with samosas. Happy days.
Our aircraft soon pulled in after a flight from Sydney. I counted no more than 15 passengers disembarking, and they were very swiftly escorted away by staff to hotel quarantine. Our aircraft today is Victor Hotel Victor Yankee Juliet, which was delivered to Qantas in December 2005, making it just under 16 years old at the time of writing. Boarding was called on time. Status flyers and business class were called to board together with everyone else, although they had their own separate line. The flight was just over half full, which was surprising to see because on this day, Queensland and Brisbane, together with the entire eastern half of the country, were all locked down. The only reason I was allowed to do this journey was because I was only transiting at the airport in Brisbane. Otherwise, I would have needed to quarantine at a hotel on arrival into Adelaide. The 737s of Qantas are configured with 12 leather recliner seats in business class and 162 economy seats. Depending on the version you're on, today's aircraft is equipped with Wi-Fi access but no personal seatback TVs. I arrived at my seat to find the crew rest curtains draped over it, window shade down, and the seat in front of me in a reclined position. What the hell is going on here?
Your attention for the next few minutes to make your journey a safe one as we take a journey through 100 years of innovation and Australian spirit. This here's a number of 504 biplane made from timber and canvas. You'll find on a Qantas Boeing 737. It sounds a bit flashier than this old girl. In the 19th.
The flying distance between Darwin and Brisbane is 2,849 kilometers or 1,771 miles. The flight today clocked in at 3 hours and 45 minutes from pushback to chocks. QF825 from Darwin to Brisbane is a lunchtime service. I cannot wait to see what's for lunch.
Now they've given us the meals and I've opted for the pasta. We had a choice between the rigatoni pasta or a chicken salad. I mean, come on, me and a salad. Nah, I don't think so. Let's see how this tastes like. It's alright, I suppose. Look at it. It's tomato sauce based. Yeah, and it's stuffed. So it's a pasta, it's a pasta. Not the best meal that I've had.
I gobbled the whole thing up in seconds and I was still hungry. The crew very kindly gave me the other option, which was the chicken salad with brown rice. Don't judge. I eat a lot and I've been called hollow legs for a reason.
So being the pig that I am, the pasta wasn't enough, so I got myself a chicken salad. Oh my god, this looks so bland. And let's see how it tastes. It comes with brown rice, peas, slices of very dry looking chicken breast, and spinach, raw spinach. I take back my apprehension. The brown rice actually doesn't taste that bad. It does seem like they've mixed it with mayo, and I taste a bit of soy and sesame as well. This is not bad at all. Well, the chicken breast is chicken breast. Slices of dried, untreated chicken breast. I will never understand the obsession with chicken breast. Because I'm a chicken thigh kind of guy. Yeah, anyway.
Now that was a satisfying meal service. 2 meals on a flight that's over 3.5 hours long. My tummy was now full as I stared out into what was the best in-flight entertainment ever. The view over the Australian outback. I did mention that this aircraft is Wi-Fi equipped. You can stream QF's entertainment into your device, which comes loaded with movies, sitcoms, and whatever to keep you occupied throughout the flight. However, you'd need to download the QANTAS Entertainment app before boarding. Toilets are located at the rear of this aircraft. Today's flight was just slightly over half full, so no one really used it. In fact, announcements were made several times to discourage passengers from hanging around in the aisle or outside the toilet. We must remain in our seats with masks on at all times. It is now time to conclude this flight on QF825 from Darwin to Brisbane. Here are my thoughts and observations. With mandatory mask mandate in place, it is extremely challenging to provide what we call real personal service. Frequent interaction is discouraged, and smiles and expressions are all hidden behind facial masks. Under these circumstances, I'd say today's team has done well. After I finished my second meal, they even offered me a third, saying there are heaps of extras if I was still hungry. As I still had the lounge to navigate during my transit, I politely declined. Still, they tried their best, coming round frequently to make sure we were hydrated, and even gave out little chocolate bowls before landing. Overall, today's flight has rated very highly in my books. For now, let's just sit back and enjoy this beautiful sunset arrival into Brisbane International Airport.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brisbane, where the time is 12 minutes past 5. If your mobile phone is within reach, you may now switch it off flight mode. Please be careful when opening overhead lockers, as your luggage may have moved during our flight and could fall out. When you disembark, you will be leaving through the forward left-hand side door. Before you leave, remember to check your seat and seat pocket for any personal belongings. Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes is not permitted whilst you are disembarking and also throughout the airport. If you are transferring to another Qantas domestic flight, please check the TV monitors in the terminal for details of your next departure. If you are transferring to a Jetstar domestic flight, you will need to collect your luggage and make your way to Jetstar check-in. If you do have luggage to collect today, it will be available from baggage carousel number 1 on the ground floor level. Please remember to take any used mask and wipes with you and place them in the bins in the terminal. And we do ask that you please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until we have reached the terminal, come to a complete stop, and the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign. On behalf of Qantas and your crew, I'd like to thank you for choosing to fly with us today. It has been our pleasure to have you on board, and we do look forward to seeing you when next you travel. Thank you and good afternoon.
And hi guys, and that was it. That was the Qantas flight from Darwin to Brisbane, and I'm the last one off the plane. So I've walked into a very deserted and quiet Brisbane airport, which is kind of sad to see. This just comes to show how the lockdown in all of the eastern states it's affecting the entire country. All the airports are pretty quiet, most of the flights are cancelled. Yeah, so I am going to transit here for about an hour and a half, and then I will board Jetstar from Brisbane back to my home in Adelaide. So I'm headed for the Qantas lounge to spend my time in transit, and the Jetstar flight will be the subject of the next report, all right, the next trip report. So if you've watched the video up till this point, I'd like to thank you for your support, and chuck me a follow on my socials as well. If you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button and tap that bell notification icon so you'll know the next time I embark on another trip. Alright, I'll see you guys around. Ciao!